Collective. My name's Renee.
And my name's Greg.
And we're excited to have you here today. Today we want to talk about follow-up emails and how important it is to put things in writing.
So very important. In QCs, this is how we start tracking for your submittal tracking logs on requests for submittals, requests for as-built, warranties, O&Ms, test reports, the list goes on and on. So what we like to do when we receive a submittal back from the design team, and whether, regardless of the design code or the review code that it has on it, if it's got an A code or a B code, obviously those are approved. Some are approved with notes. But let's just take an A code submittal, and we want to get that to the subcontractor, and we're going to tell them that it's ready to procure. You just don't want to send that back to the subcontractor and not give them direction in the email. Mm-hmm. They're going to sit on it. They're not going to do anything with it until they're ready to procure everything.
Yeah, that procurement clock today, more than ever, is so important because we're seeing such long lead times on material. And when the sub doesn't have the material on site, they're going to come to you and they're going to want to know when they were released to procure, why they didn't.
That's right. So we have formatted a standard, email template for lots of different things, but for submittals specifically, we open up our email and we tell the contractor that your submittal was approved, what code it had, you are released to immediately procure. And then to contact your superintendent on the project with the lead times and manpower loading. And what that does is that you have written documentation of the go date.
Starts the clock.
It starts the clock, right? And so when your project managers or your superintendents come back and they say, well, where is this? Where's the product? The subcontractor's not here. You can go back and say, okay, well, the submittal was approved for the product, and we released them for procurement, and here's the date. And then they have ammunition to go back to the sub.
And emails are important for all things. When you have an inspection in the field, if something was noted, if they need to change something, if there's a deficiency, don't just hand the field guys the written deficiency. Put it in an email because that tracks the formal deficiency notice and how long it gets to be fixed. Punch list, anytime you do a punch list, that needs to be formally emailed out. Any request for closeout documents needs to be formally emailed out. You're going to, unfortunately, probably request those multiple times. It takes sometimes to pull those documents out of the subs, but those emails and that email chain is proof that you're doing your job and that you're doing it timely, and then you can tell where you have some hiccups and some subs that need some more attention.
That's right. And another good one is request for information. When you receive those requests for information back from the design team or from the reviewer, and there's money associated to it, you're going to get together with your PMs and you're going to say how much time do they have to decide if there's a cost associated. They're going to tell you 48 hours. They're going to tell you 5 working days. So you're going to put that in your email and you're going to say, please see this attached RFI in the decision. You have 48 hours per the project manager to come back if there's any costs associated.
And please disseminate it to your field crew.
That's right.
That's not going to happen. But this is in best case, you give that to the office and you hope that the sub gives that to the field crew. As QCs, we also bring those RFIs into weekly subcontractor meetings, and then that's usually where the field crew knows about the answers. However, you need that formal documentation saying you let the sub know the decision on X date. That way, if the field crew runs in the wrong direction, that's on them, and it's not on you as the QC or the GC.
And bottom line is you have to give the direction. You have to start the clock. That email direction is your friend. It could very well be taken to court if things go bad. So you want to have that documentation for your subcontractor and, more importantly, for your general contractor and yourself. It covers you. In verse of that, if the subcontractor is getting pressure from the project manager, they're going to say, look, I received this email with the submittal. It didn't tell me what to do. So I
just filed it. You just said it was approved.
You said you weren't going to be ready in for 6 months down the road, so I'm not going to order it. And it saves you.
Right.
It's
Emails are really important.
emails.
And like Greg said, don't make it hard on yourself. Just make some templates, right? And once you have a deficiency email template, a punch list template, a submittal template, it's kind of cut and paste, and it makes it go a lot faster. If you're worried about how to do templates, whether you're running Outlook or another email provider, you can just go to their help, and it'll walk you through that.
That's right. And remember, QCs, you're not responsible for schedule. You're not responsible for money. You're responsible for quality control. So if subcontractors come back to you and there's money or schedule associated to that, you need to forward those on to the appropriate people. You need to give them a heads up and let them know what's going on.
The day and age of handshake and word, unfortunately, is not where we're living anymore. I really wish we were. I was lucky enough to get in on a little bit of that when I started my career, so I know what we're all missing today, and I know what a pain it seems to have to do CYA all the time. But emails are a way to do that in writing, and it's pretty important.
And if you've got a subcontractor that's not following up with you after you tell them to, after a couple, 3 emails, just pick up the phone, because the emails aren't working. Even though they're protecting you, pick up the phone.
Yeah, not saying to stop the emails.
That's right.
Just saying pick up the phone too and try to work with them.
That's right.
Get those emails, protect yourself, QCs, and have a fabulous day.
Have a wonderful day.